Hi, welcome or welcome back. My name is Eleanor. This is August 17th, the 17th day of the Sealy Challenge. Today I'm reading this amazing book by Alice Oswald. It's her latest book called Nobody. Just look at it. Just look at it. It's so beautiful. Look at this color. Then look inside. It's so inviting. Look at those floating words. I mean, have you ever? And then there's even this. It's all one poem. No contents page, no notes. At the end, there's what looks like it looks like some sort of puzzle. I'll explain what that is later. So sometimes I just want to go out for lunch at a nice cafe by myself and read a book of poetry that I can just let flow as I read it without needing to close read, without needing hypervigilance concerning every word. I want to enjoy the words as they flow, as I read, the hubbub around me of people, the waiters coming and going, the clinking of dishes. I'm having a coffee afterwards as well. You can do it with this. Don't read any reviews. Under no circumstances should you research Alice Oswald. You will ruin everything. Buy the book. It's the perfect size. It'll fit in your bag or in your jacket pocket. And take yourself out for lunch, a date, just you and nobody. So this is all you need to know. All you need to know is in this small explanation that Oswald very helpfully has written for you. It's telling you that when Agamemnon went to Troy, he paid a poet to spy on his wife. Problem was, the wife and another guy wanted to have an affair, and they knew that the poet was watching them. So the guy, the lover, Agamemnon's wife's lover, kidnapped the poet and took him out into the ocean, put him on a desert island, and that's where the poet was left. That's really all you need to know. There is another detail given here, and if you really feel adventurous, you can think about that as well as you're reading the book. The next detail here is that Odysseus, don't panic. You don't have to know about the Odyssey. You don't have to know about the Iliad. I don't know anything. Odysseus, at that same time that all this was happening with Agamemnon, right? He was blown off course on his travels, and for 10 years he was separated from his wife. Eventually he returns, but when he returns, isn't he the lucky one? She's been 100% loyal. So that's all you need to know. Except for one more thing. And this has got nothing to do with the classics at all. She says at the very end, she has an explanation that Nobody was originally commissioned to accompany watercolors by an artist called William Tillier. Okay. Keep that in mind and just read it. Don't worry if you don't know who they're talking about. Don't worry if weird people arrive and leave doing strange things. This is the world of the sea. You're in the world of the sea. You're going to dive into the sea. You're going to go on a boat on the sea. You're going to be with the poet in that godforsaken island. And all the time, you're going to feel the water, the rush, the adrenaline, the power, the meditative quality when it calms down, the colors, the shades, the birds. And while you're doing this, you're having your lunch, people around you are making noise. It doesn't bother you because you're in your world. You're on a date with nobody. And every so often you remember, it's about a marriage. It's about someone in the marriage wanting to have an affair. It's about the role of the poet. This was a perfect experience for me today. A very unexpected delight. It's magical. It's magical. You don't really need to know anything else. The puzzle at the end, that is merely Trivial Pursuit. Classicists just love Trivial Pursuit. They love to know who Orpheus is, and Clytemnestra, and Aegisthus, Calypso, Poseidon. Well, the very end of the puzzle, there's only one thing you need to know. Nobody. I'll read you a little bit. Doesn't matter where I start to read. It's all beautiful. It's all beautiful. About an hour ago, she surfaced and shook her arms and peered around and dived again and surfaced and saw someone and dived again and surfaced and smelt all those longings of grass flower smells and bird flower sounds and the vaporous poems that hang in the chills above rivers. As a seagull slays down waves and wets its stiff wings in the horrible sea hollows, looking for fish, so he swerves and stalls, and finds a woman sitting very still and cold and wizened with permanent headache on her island, one hand like the shadow of an aeroplane, barely moving over her own blue surface, waves him away. She says, I know. I know. And sometimes over my retina, as over an angled mirror, an aeroplane, sometimes between two clouds with wingtips, teetering on the very pivot of vision, a passenger throws down her shadow, in which I catch the tiny movement of her eye blinds, lifting. And in this cloud, uncloud, I who can't settle when I think of that crowd of colors on the sea, then my mind starts sliding towards them, borne on a wave of wind. Thank you. Remember, the only real property is the property of the mind, and I'll see you tomorrow.